Hello, this is the RPG Crawler, and welcome to another Tabletop RPG News Roundup, this time for May 4th, 2025, where each week I take a look back at the week in Tabletop RPG News and bring you the highlights. I'm still pressed for time, hoping my mother's actually coming home this coming week. Excuse the lack of thumbnails, I'm still pretty stressed and busy. So we'll start with some decidedly non-indie news for once. Actually, once more, because it seems like every week. It looks like the Sage Advice Compendium available through D&D Beyond has been updated to the 2024 rules, which honestly surprises me that it took this long, but there you go. Then it looks like Roll20 has finally launched a beta for integrating the Demiplane Rules Compendium content. They purchased it last year. It is similar to D&D Beyond, but for multiple systems. It looks like Pathfinder is getting a new book in December. Lost Omens Draconic Codex will focus on various sorts of dragons. Apparently, Goodman Games is adding City State of the Invincible Overlord to their original Adventures Reincarnated series at some point, updating it to 5th edition and also producing a Dungeon Crawl Classics version. This classic Judges Guild product has been ported to several versions of various RPGs in the past, although this current version may be released under the shadow of a previously undelivered Kickstarter, totally unaffiliated with Goodman Games, from many years ago now. So the problem is that the Judges Guild, I believe, ran a Kickstarter for a 5th edition conversion of it, and it just it's been like 10 years plus and it hasn't materialized. So some of the core Judges Guild old school fans may be a little irritated at that, and I gotta admit they probably have a right to be. If Goodman Games puts out some good stuff, so we'll see, and it's not really their responsibility, but if I was Goodman Games, I might do something a little for those previous backers, just to try and smooth things over so that you're not weighed down by the anchor of prior companies' commitments. Anyway, onward towards minor and PDF releases. Landguard City of Adventure from Raging Swan Press is available in Pathfinder 5th edition and OSR versions. It details a city and will be updated in chapters over the course of the next 6 months, and as each chapter is added, they're going to bump the price up, so, there's that. Rise of the Mushroom King is a 5th edition compatible adventure from Cowwood Publishing that deals with a city where creatures are being infected by spores, turning them hostile. Soulfrost Reliquary is a 5th edition compatible supplement and campaign from Kelphicill's Tales. It is a dungeon adventure for levels 7 to 9 characters. In Pursuit of Fluffy is a 5th edition compatible adventure that starts with a quest to rescue a missing cat, but quickly escalates from there. Crooked Tower Inn is another 5th edition compatible product, this time a drop-in delve-style adventure taking place within an old abandoned tower that some people are hoping to turn into an inn, so it has to be cleared out. Dragon Chase is a 5th edition one-shot, or it can be used as a side quest dealing with a chase through the various wildernesses. The Null Mines is a collection of 5th edition content that includes new encounters, new monsters, a fully playable class, the Biosplicer, a new playable race, various feats, craftable items, and more. Rise of the Honk is an adventure kit which includes various character and creature stat blocks, magic items, adventure hooks, and more, focused around a goose theme, I think. Fat Magic is a 5th edition compatible collection of subclasses, magic items, enemies, regions, and so forth, set in a world of food-based magic. Tome of Summoning is a selection of 5th edition material focused around summoning and planar magic, including a class of the Summoner. The Euphorist is a 5th edition class based on followers of a god of revelry, wine, and euphoria. Quicksilver Adventuring League has Cleric Domains of Nessaroon, a collection of domains for 5th edition and 2024 edition. Woodland Harvest Bestiary is a collection of 5th edition compatible material revolving around woodland creatures suited to be plugged into any forest-style setting. The Signal is a sci-fi horror-themed adventure about a distress beacon that leads to a ship with only one survivor aboard, along with an ancient terror. It is available in Shadow Dark format, but also Call of Cthulhu version. So, given the weird placement, because it's where I put the Shadow Dark stuff. Anyway, Tales of the Smoking Worm, number 9, is a fanzine focused on Dungeon Crawl Classics, but also suited for similar OSR systems. Yet Another Bestiary of Cryptofauna is a collection of creatures from around the world, statted out for Barbaric 2nd edition. Bard Heroic Abilities is a Dragonbane supplement that covers various bardic abilities, just what it says, Dragonbane. I have not reviewed that yet, and I've got it sitting like right here. I need to review that, and Dragon Slayer, and like a dozen other things. Hopefully, now I may have some time in the coming weeks, but I gotta play catch up on some stuff first. Anyway, moving back. The Worms Beneath is an adventure for Ganesha Games' 4 Against Darkness system, which deals with a collapsed castle and the tunnels beneath it. Bridgemire Knights is an expansion to Bridgemire Watch, an industrial fantasy-style game set in a city-state with many things going on. This details the underworld and criminal organizations. Chamomile has Red Mage, a GM-less RPG of monster slaying and high fantasy world saving. There's the core rules and then the fantasy genre book. Realm Walker is a planar fantasy-based tabletop RPG where you set to explore out a new multiverse. It is currently available in an Ashcan version with a more detailed version to be produced later. Mercs, Mages, and Monsters has a core rulebook out, which is a skill-based RPG based in the Kingdom of Yolgath, where characters are members of a guild of mercenaries and take on jobs for the money. Navathem's End is an RPG set in a broken world where you're defending against various outside forces and mingles various OSR forged in the dark and powered by the Apocalypse elements. Balark in Flames is an expansion for the Overwar Monarch Edition, which I covered a while back. I liked it. This includes new characters, factions, and rules. If I remember right, it was based on strategy RPGs, like computer and console strategy RPGs. So there's that. Spiritfall is a tabletop RPG set in a post-apocalyptic world where demons annihilated humanity and survivors live in various safe zones. There's various scenarios, once more, for the Tales of the Menace and Mystery Pulp RPG. There's Tale of the Telescope Threat, The Curious Case of the Marauding Mummy, The Venom of the Vampire, The Temple of Torment and Terror, The Crimson Conspiracy, The Hideous Hermit of Horror, and The Story of the Scorched Sigil. Cursed Captains of Cthulhu Voyage Booklet 1, Race to Temple Deep, is a pirate voyage for the Cursed Captains of Cthulhu RPG detailing a mysterious temple. And Jonas Morian, also known as the Yellow Hand, I believe, has a number of scenarios for Call of Cthulhu in the Miskatonic repository. There is Lights, Camera, Malefaction, The Meeting Room of Madness, Terror in Reverse, and See You in My Dreams. All are for modern settings. Bloat Games has Bloody and Alone in Appalachia, a solo horror RPG set in the rural Appalachian hills. Titans Rising from Onyx Path is an offering for Scion 2nd Edition that details these titans and their scions and servants. Forgotten Ruin is an adventure war game from Odysseus. It's a type of secret missions in a mysterious tech setting where you govern a platoon armed with modern and cutting-edge weaponry, going into a strange world inhabited by fantasy creatures. Husk is an RPG set in an apocalyptic world overrun by giant wasps and relentless storms where humanity barely survives. Shadowrun Missions Trailblazers is an adventure suited for Shadowrun 6 world that focuses on smuggling through unmapped regions. Glittering Void is a sci-fi mecha RPG where humanity is spread out around the sun, and it features, of course, fighting robots. The Blood Lives is a mothership adventure detailing a geological survey base that has gone silent. And then Dry Dock 72 is another mothership adventure, this time dealing with a group that has seized a dock, a group of Teamsters, and it features the conflict between the Teamsters and the crew of a ship at the dock. With that, we'll move on to crowdfunding campaigns. Remember that contributing to a crowdfunding campaign should be done only at your own risk. Doing so is no guarantee of even receiving a product. Mentioned here is not an endorsement, but is for informational purposes only, and Legacy of the Blade Dancer will be a 5th edition compatible adventure dealing with the tales of rivalry, but also ghosts. The Blightlands will be a 5th edition setting dealing with survivors on a blighted world where they can explore by airship while battling undead and looking for lost magic. Architects of the Deep has 2 one-shot adventures they're looking to fund suited for 5th edition. There's Lord Hollowvault and Black Vault the Ghost, one of course being the follow-up to the other. A Deal with a Dragon is an RPG one-shot dealing with a dying ancient green dragon who is looking for the one that inflicted his doom. Pyramid of the Forgotten God is a 5th edition compatible mega dungeon with 10 levels and 100 plus chambers at 101 chambers, buried beneath the ancient sands with a pyramid. Hearts of Darkness will be a dark fantasy sandbox open world campaign for 5th edition suited for characters levels 4 to 10. Warpwalker's Guide through the Shattered Worlds will be a 5th edition supplement inspired by H.R. Giger with a number of new systems and options, especially focused around body horror and that kind of biomechanical thing. Tavern Tales will be a 5th edition supplement focusing on various drinks and magical mishaps, as well as enchanted inns, barkeeps, and the like for fantasy taverns. Epic Heroes Encyclopedia Volume 9 Rogue will be a 5th edition expansion that gives guidance on bringing rogues from levels 20 to 30, following in the footsteps in their other class guides. Fury of the Forsaken for the Thrones and Bones setting will be compatible with the Tales of the Valiant as well as 5th edition and deals with a Viking lake town, defending a Viking lake town against undead. Unbound Realms will be a tabletop RPG, giving you 5th edition base but expanded mechanics suited for pretty much any setting or genre. Shadow West looks to be a dark fantasy western, but using the Shadow Dark rules, offering a sort of Weird West adaptation of that rule set. Finally, there is Dawn of the Dog Wizard, a DCC RPG compatible adventure module where a demon-spawned dog is striving to take over a harbor town. On that note, I'm going to wrap things up here. As always, links will be below if you like what you've seen. Remember to leave a like, comment, got any feedback, and subscribe for more RPG content. And hopefully I will be producing more videos in the coming weeks. I'm going to basically take this week off, even if my schedule clears up a little bit. I'll get the news out next weekend, but yeah, I got to rest. I've been basically, like, my mother has been in the hospital for a full month as of tonight. Stepping down, and she's coming home soon. Thank you all who supported me through this and who were wishing me well. It was rough. We almost lost her. So thank you all. And I know I keep saying that every time I do one of these, but it's been a hard road to recovery, and she's getting there. So I'm finally seeing some hope. Anyway, I should stop babbling. Until next time, take care and goodbye. And if you are still watching, I would like to take the opportunity to thank my supporters, the top tiers of which are listed on the screen, without whose support I would not have been able to offer the variety of content that I have on this channel throughout the years. If you're feeling particularly generous and would like to join them, you can support the channel. There are a variety of options to do so. I have a Patreon, a Subscribe Star, as well as channel memberships enabled. If you are not in a position to contribute, simply leaving a like, a comment, or sharing my videos are all wonderful ways to help the channel grow without spending a dime, and are all greatly appreciated.